everyone, I'm Dr. Shikha Khandelwal, Consultant Radiologist at Gujarat Imaging Center, Ahmedabad. I welcome all of you for Case of the Week series of YouTube channel of Gujarat State Chapter IRIA. Today I'm sharing with you a very rare and interesting case on breast pathology. She is a very young female, 29-year-old, with greenish discoloration of skin and periareolar lesion, which she noticed since 3 months, associated with nipple discharge, which was milky in nature. She is nulliparous with negative family history. This is how the breast looked on clinical examination. Her basic investigations were done in form of mammogram and USG breast. The mammogram revealed enlarged left breast with heterogeneous density areas within. On sonography, diffuse altered echotexture was noted with multiple hypoechoic lesions and complex cysts, and a few arterial and venous channels were also seen. On the basis of these findings, a true-cut biopsy was ordered and it revealed as low-grade angiosarcoma. Now, angiosarcomas are very rare tumors and they account for 0.04% of all breast cancers. The classic presentation usually is a painless color change of the breast skin, which could be blue or purple, with presence of focal or multifocal lesions. And sometimes these patients may also present with rapid breast growth. The standard of care in angiosarcoma is surgical resection with mastectomy. For low-grade lesions, breast conservation therapy may be indicated if there is an excellent chance of achieving negative margins. So in our case, since the patient was very young and was keen on breast conservation, a further imaging in form of MRI was advised to assess the extent of the lesion. So the patient was referred for MR breast at our center. These are the conventional sequences, T2 weighted and T1 weighted sequences, which revealed multiple dilated cystic spaces in left breast. These were isointents on T1 weighted images. Similar areas were also seen on the right breast, though to a lesser extent. The post-contrast study does not reveal any significant enhancement. Mild background parenchymal enhancement was noted, but no enhancing mass or non-mass enhancement is seen in breast. On a much more caudal sections, a tubular structure was seen adjacent to the descending thoracic aorta, which was suspicious for a dilated thoracic duct, and hence we performed a CT scan of the same patient. On CT on eggshell and coronal images, the dilated tubular structure was nicely seen, which was a dilated thoracic duct. So our findings were linear and tubular cystic spaces in both breasts, more on left side, no significant enhancing lesion, no axillary lymphadenopathy, and a dilated and tortuous thoracic duct. On the basis of these findings, we suggested the pathology to be slow flow venolymphatic malformation on both the sides. Now there was a RAD-path discordance in this case. The pathology suggested this to be an angiosarcoma, which is a malignant tumor, and on MRI, the findings favored a benign venolymphatic malformation. So because of RAD-path discordance, a repeat biopsy and a review of the previous biopsy was done at a higher center, which confirmed our findings, and final histopathological diagnosis was as lymphangiomatosis. Lymphangiomas are benign lymphatic tumors which are developmental in origin and so are more common in children. 90% of these patients present in second decade of life. They typically consist of dilated lymphatic channels which are lined by endothelium due to blockage of lymphatics or due to weakness of the lymphatic wall, or can be due to proliferation of lymphatic vessels. And subsequently, these lesions enlarge over the time and communicate with dermal and epidermal lymphatics. They are broadly classified into simple, cystic and cavernous type. Lymphangiomas, as I said, are more common in children. Those which are involving the breast are exceptionally rare, and to the best of our knowledge, only 11 cases of lymphangiomas in the breast have been reported in the literature. Imaging forms a very integral part in arriving at a diagnosis. Wide surgical excision is the most effective treatment modality and remains the standard of care. However, sometimes steroid injections, sclerosins, or carbon dioxide laser can also yield functionally and cosmetically acceptable results. So this patient was saved from mastectomy. We reassured the patient that this is a benign condition and just asked her to be in a follow-up. So learning points that BRAD-path correlation is a very key component in breast reporting. Detection of discordant findings prevents misdiagnosis and improves patient management. And of course, MRI is a very important adjunct to mammo and USG breast, which are first-line investigations. MR has its own set of indications, and if used judiciously, it offers a lot of valuable information. Thanks a lot. Stay safe.